Let's all say inshallah that this camera don't die. You know, it's 2025. You would think they stopped making camera battery technology in like 1985. And inshallah the sun don't fry it again. Being that I'm starting something new, I wanted to talk about what the experience is like of starting something new. And the experience of starting something new goes hand in hand to me and the experience of changing your life, or just wanting to take a new path in life. There's this quote that I heard a long time ago, and it's come up repetitively in my life over the last couple years, and I'm just now starting to gain an understanding of it. And the quote goes, "When you're on the right path, the path disappears." When you're on the right path, the path disappears. And you know, the quote got a little ring to it. But before you gain certain life experiences, it really doesn't mean anything. Okay. So, think about the way your life has been. As of late, recent, but just overall. You probably pretty much do the same thing every day. Pretty much have the same thoughts every day. Walk the same paths every day. And that's your source of comfort. Think about a place that you walk to often and that you walk back home from. Alright, when you're taking that walk, you pretty much know every single thing to expect. You know where there's some irregularities in the sidewalk so you don't trip. You know what house you're gonna walk by that got a dog and the dog gonna come running up to the fence, start barking at you. You know what to watch out for, so you're comfortable. But now, when you take a new path, it's a little dent in the sidewalk, you might trip up on it because you ain't never see it before. You might get startled, you might jump a little when a new dog come running up to the fence. That's what taking a new path in life is. I also compare it to the comforts of the life that you've been living. It's kind of like your parent. When you were younger, walking through the supermarket, holding your mom's hand, you damn near don't even gotta think. Your mom is gonna lead the way, and you could just go about life. But then there's the instances where you walking with your parent and you see something off in the distance that piques your interest and you want to go explore, so you let go of your mom's hand. You go exploring for a minute, you turn around, mommy nowhere to be found. The first reaction in your heart and your mind is to panic, because now your source of comfort is gone. When you're going off on a new endeavor, when you're trying to change something, the first step to change is being lost. And I would say that I'm a very credible source when it comes to this. Because one thing about me, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, is that I was never scared of taking risks. I was never scared of change. Yo, I would get up right now and have $1 in my pocket Not no job setup, no nothing. I'll move to a whole nother city and improvise. Go figure that out. That's on my track record. You feel me? And I'm not bigging myself up because objectively that's very irresponsible. But what I will tell you is there's a lot of lessons that I learned and a lot that I learned about myself through doing that. And I did make those decisions irresponsibly. They were never calculated. If I ever tell anybody that decision was calculated and I did it because I knew what I was going to get out of it, I would be lying. No. I was running from myself, just like I said in the last video. And in hindsight, they might have been mistakes. But mistakes are also always part of the path. You know, as humans, naturally we beat ourselves up over mistakes, but what do we really expect? Okay, there's some innate things that Allah put us down on this earth with, like a moral compass, certain things that's already within us, but experience and certain lessons you're gonna have to learn some way. And the best way to learn is through mistakes. The reason that mistakes are so valuable and the reason that mistakes teach you so well is because the deepest lessons that you learn, the ones that really set in your psyche and in your heart, are the ones that you really felt some emotion behind. Some real strong, potent emotion. And I'm talking about negative emotion specifically. Because now you made this mistake, you had to suffer the consequences, and you just know, yo, bro, I don't want to feel like this ever again. So you're going to know better than to make that mistake. So when you starting new and you're lost and you're making mistakes, just know you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. It's just now up to you to not panic and keep going, because the more you go, the more clarity you're going to get, the more experience you're going to get. Like they say, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor ever, and that's too true. Part of my language. One of my biggest experiences moving is naturally when you're starting, you're not really going to have a foundation, especially if you're unsure about what you're doing. You have an idea of what you want to do, but you're unsure. You know, all of us have certain things that pique our interest, whether you cooking, you making videos, you making music, you making art. You have a vision of what you want to do, but you don't really know what it's going to ultimately culminate into. But when you have no foundation, when there's nothing there for you, there's room for everything. You can turn that into whatever you want it to be. A lot of the times we set out on a journey trying to find ourselves. But one thing that I learned is that you don't find yourself, you create yourself, you make yourself. You get to pick every part of your personality, every part of your identity, every part of your being. And a lot of the times we do that unintentionally. We'll hear somebody say something, some lingo that we like, and now we add it to our lingo. But that's what life is. You could be whatever you want, and there's some discomfort that comes with that. You know, a lot of people call it imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is so broad that it's hard to even explain, but I'm starting to understand it. My imposter syndrome was so complex that I didn't even know I had imposter syndrome. But I really don't even suffer from that anymore because I understand that all it takes to beat that is mental strength. You constantly gonna dismiss yourself. But you just need the mental strength to beat those thoughts. Those are all intrusive thoughts. All negative thoughts are intrusive thoughts. You choose to entertain them. The thing is, why we harp on negative thoughts so much is because when we're having good thoughts, the sea is very settled. So it's so easy to dismiss them. But when it comes to negative thoughts, there's a little wave. So because you don't want that to be there, you're gonna start paying attention to it. And when you start paying attention to it, you're giving it energy now. So now it's gonna come back with his homies, some more negative thoughts. And it's only gonna get stronger. Your mind can't process the negative, so you can't be like, yo, I'm not gonna think negative thoughts. It's not possible. So all you gotta do is replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And dismiss those negative thoughts. Acknowledge them and understand that's just a natural flow of thoughts. The thing with your brain is primarily here to keep you alive, to protect you. So it's going to analyze every single possibility in your environment, and naturally, because it has defense mechanisms, it's going to come up with negative possibilities as well. As long as you could look down at yourself and acknowledge the fact that you're safe, you could manually dismiss those negative thoughts, right? So it's your job to do that. So if you're going off on a new endeavor, the primary task is to beat negative thoughts and just fully believe in yourself. And to understand that the first part of the journey is to be unsure. And the thing is, I know it's easy to say, especially for me being that I've been through it so many times. So for me, it's been trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Like if y'all knew how many times I had to go through that, y'all might not even respect it for real. Cause look, I seen 50 talking to Gilly and Wallow, a clip on Instagram the other day. And 50 said, you could get to wherever you want to be. God will get you to wherever you want to be, but he will never show you the path. And there's a reason that he doesn't show you the path. Because you're going to go through so much stuff that hurts your heart. Hurts your heart. And puts you through so much pain and makes you so uncomfortable that if he was to show you the path, you would probably be like, yo, I don't even want it. I don't even want to go through all of that. You keep that. But here's the thing that we can't really fathom, that we don't understand. The reward at the end of every path has nothing to do with how much money you make. Has nothing to do with what car you drive, what crib you in, what validation you get. It's always about who you become. And a lot of us have experienced that. Just think about the hardest parts of your life, the hardest chapters and periods in your life. The calm after the storm, there's no feeling like that. Feeling more equipped to, when I say equipped, I always do that like cool whip. Feeling more equipped to go head on with a challenge and confront challenges is the best feeling ever, because you could just look back and be like, yo, when I was younger, son, this right here would have folded me. But being that you already been through that struggle, that's not nothing to you. And a good point to make is that any struggle that you have is not something in the outside world. I'm gonna try to conceptualize this as well as possible, because this one for me is a little bit difficult. Not even for me. For me, is a little bit difficult. Any struggle that you have that's even going on in this physical world is just a mental deficit on your end. Because not everybody is going through that struggle. You might be going through that struggle, and the next person over, that's light for them. Why? Because they're thinking about it differently. So, whatever it is that's causing conflict in your life, which is causing some type of cognitive dissonance, there's a lesson for you in there. You just have to confront it and find out, what lesson can I extract out of this? What pain have I not confronted yet? What emotions have I not confronted yet? That I could put this struggle behind me. So just know that this is all just a mental battle. This is all just a mental battle, and as long as you fortify your mind and just believe in yourself, you'll figure that out. At first, the ship is always going to be rocky. You give it some time, it's always going to be worth it, because the person that you become on the other side of that is amazing. It makes you feel so alive. I got some shout outs, bro. A very, very smart woman put me onto this book via her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is by Khadijah Cams. I'm only like 40 pages into that book maybe, and that book has already changed my entire mind. So get up with her. You can learn a lot from her channel. I have already. She only made one video so far, and she's definitely on to something, especially for the women out there. My son Marty, get up with my son Marty. If you want a nice wholesome laugh, watch some people really who love each other, get up with my son Marty. I'm pretty sure it's shot by Marty. I'm gonna link that. And my cousin Mo Bucks _3. I'm pretty sure all of them gonna be linked down there. But those are some people who starting. They genuinely good people. And fill up your time with something valuable. Listen, I told myself that I would never do this, but it's mandatory in this case. I have to. I told myself that every video is just gonna go straight through. Once I stop recording, that's it. But there's certain points that I missed that I have to make. When you ask for change, and then you do step into that unknown, you have to always remember, this is always very comforting for me, that this is what you asked for. Allah gave you something that you asked for. So that just be feeling like a divine hug to me. Like you asked for something and I got you. The only reason you would be uncomfortable is because something is different now, but you asked for something to be different. You might have got tired of the redundance of life. And to me, that's a good enough reason to ask for change. At the end of the day, you only live this life one time. So it doesn't have to be that something is bothering you or something is making you uncomfortable. Sometimes you just want to experience something new. Sorry. And of course, you don't want to do nothing at the expense of other people. You want to try your best to control that damage as much as possible. But if you're making decisions that only affect you, and you want to change your life, that's well within your right. And once you get there, remember to tell yourself that it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be unsure. It's okay to have doubt. That's all a part of life. And for me, the point that I've reached, I love feeling that stuff. Pause. I'm probably going to cut that out. But the pause. But I've just embraced life as a whole. That I just want everything that comes with life. Everything. Like, when I look back, I'm so glad that I experienced some of the pain that I experienced, because what if I reach the end of my life? This is the selfish part. What if I reach the end of my life and I never got to experience that? And I'm telling myself, yo, what I would do right now to go back and see what that felt like, And when it pertains to other people, when I got me a little son, inshallah, one day, when I got me a little daughter one day, and they're experiencing some pain in this life, they're unsure about something hurt them that they're trying to figure out and they're confused about, wouldn't you want it to be that you done experienced all of this already, so that you know exactly what to tell them to get through it? Or even if you don't know what to tell them, you could tell them that, yo, I went through this. This is not exclusive to you. And you're gonna be okay. So your empathy is real. And you telling them that they're gonna be okay, they really believe you, because my pop's been through that and he's still standing right here, right in front of me. For me, that's beautiful. I want to go through all of that. There's been times in my life that I made mistakes that when I look back, for some time I was beating myself up over it. Like, even in hindsight, I knew not to do the things that I did. I knew better than that. But I have this firm belief now that sometimes Allah completely takes the wheel and makes you do certain things so you could really understand the consequences of that. And you could feel the emotions behind those consequences. Especially those canon events in your life. I've had multiple events in my life, even some as of late, that I'm sitting there and I'm observing the event almost from a third eye view. And I just feel like I don't got no control of what's going on right now. And the question always pops up when I look back on these events. I always ask myself in that moment, out loud, yo, what do I do? And I realized there was nothing for you to do. Allah took over the movie in that moment. This is for you to watch. And those are always the events that I learn the most from. I hate going back to the phone, but I also dislike when I come back at the end of the video and there's certain things I wanted to say that I didn't say. And when it comes to your circumstances, this might be the most important thing I say this video. Because I know one of the worst feelings is to feel like you're behind in life. I'm 25 years old, yo. Granted, I'm pretty young, but sometimes I'll be feeling like there's certain stuff that I should have already accomplished. The thing is that we don't all start from the same place in life, right? Some people were born into households that from a young age, their parents set them up for certain goals. Mind you, when you were a kid, you don't got much control over life. A lot of stuff is at a lot of other people's mercy, and a lot of other people are dictating your everyday moves. And they're making life decisions for you. Now imagine, there's kids that their parents wanted to be lawyers and athletes, and they were setting them up for success, if you want to call that success. And then there's people out there, you might be one of these people that you grew up in a household that wasn't full of love. And not to say that other people's households is full of love, but everybody got a different situation. You could plug and place different things wherever you want. But you was more so focused as a kid on surviving every day in your household that you came home and you was trying to please people and have people be happy with you, and you was a little kid fighting emotional turmoil, and you never even had a second to explore or find a hobby or find a talent. So for you, now you just feel stuck. But that feeling stuck and feeling behind stuff is not real. This is your life experience. All of that stuff that you went through was to your benefit. If you can't think of any benefit from it, the automatic benefit is that you can connect to other people through it. Other people who've been through the same thing. You could be the light in somebody else's situation. And once you come to terms with that, and you stop harping on the past so much, and wishing that things when you was a kid were different, and just embracing the path that Allah put you on, then you could start moving forward. Then you could start exploring the things that you love. And you could find what it is that makes you feel alive on a daily basis and doesn't make this life thing feel so repetitive. Repetitive in the bad way that you just want to feel something new. And there's something out there. Don't think that you're just the one anomaly in the universe that can't find a hobby or can't find a talent. And you don't even got to be good at it, bro. Find something that you love and just do it every single day, and naturally you're going to get good at it. And it's most likely something that you're already doing that you're dismissing. Maybe from time to time a thought comes up and you write it in your notes and you like the way that you write it. Alright, you're a writer. Maybe from time to time you draw a little picture and you enjoy it. You're an artist. Maybe from time to time you bake or you cook and you really have a lot of fun with that. Alright, so hone in on that. You don't gotta be Michael Jackson. You don't gotta be Basquiat. You don't gotta be Rachel Ray. They all started from somewhere as well. So just start. Do what makes you feel alive. You live this life one time. So get money.